All right, good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the live stream. I'm gonna let everyone start chatting and whatnot, and I'll jump into everything. I'm gonna go ahead and share this in the Telegram now. That way, everyone knows we are live, and then we're gonna start going. I hope you guys are having a good day. If you guys are in here, let me know in the chat, and that way everyone will know. We could start. We could start the conversation. Just posting it in the Telegram really quick though. Okay. All right, we're gonna start marking up the charts. We've got about 8 minutes until New York Open, and we're going to basically look for our setup coming up soon. So let me just draw on necessarily some points of liquidity. We got kind of a very wide range with this one candle right here, just because of the 8:30 news, I can imagine. And it just kind of created a big range we're in. So we might be waiting a little bit after hours, just kind of for price to play out some. But we're gonna break down everything after I get things drawn on. What's up, Jake? What's up, Luboslav? So good morning, guys. We are hopefully looking to break the curse today. The not the curse, but the little bit of a losing streak we're on. The reason we're changing to, by the way, to a little bit slightly after, or an hour later, we're at 9:30, is because I am deciding to take off. The trading plan's the same. We're just going to trade at 9:30 because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trade a prop account. We've got 150K instant funded. You guys can see the balance up here. We're going to be trading this instead. It's going to be Euro US dollar futures. And so we're just going to trade at the New York Open, hence the later start today. So I'm going to trade this instead of a cash account. I'm going to risk 1% to make 1%. Same exact trading plan. And we are going to go on day 5 of not breaking any rules and sticking to the plan and executing. Now, I'm going to do this to just take some risk off, to have a lot higher potential for reward, and to actually have something like on screen as like a little bit of a journey, a little bit of a series that we can go through together, and we can see if I can pass or fail this account. It's already passed, it's instant funded, but you have to hit like consistency. You guys know the drill. So let's go back to the charts. We're approaching 9:30. We're gonna wait until 9:30 actually occurs, and then we're gonna see where the open runs to for points of liquidity. What's up, GamerCat? But yeah, it's super interesting to see. You can actually trade futures for currencies, and this is actually Euro US dollar. You can see the chart's pretty much the same, and basically, yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure there's not any spread. If there is commissions, it's really small, and so it's gonna put us in a good spot, I think, when it comes to those different parts of trading, the commissions and spreads. So we're gonna see if we can't take our first win today. The balance is flat right now at 150K, and I think you have to get it. I'll have to double check. I think you have to get it to 159K in order to take a payout, and you have to have like 10 minimum trading days. So we're gonna be trading this over the next 2 weeks, given we don't breach it. 5-day win streak, yes sir. Yep. 5-day win streak in terms of the way we define winning. It's simply executing, showing up, being consistent. I got it on my whiteboard in front of me too right now. This is stream number 5. And so my goal is just to keep showing back up here every single day for the next 50 days, 100 days. And we'll try to get some payouts when we do it. So I'm just excited. It was a couple $100. I think it was like 400 or something. I don't even remember. Let me check. How much did I spend on it? Yeah, they're like no, it was like 500 something. Yeah, it was just over 500. All right, how many people we got in here? We got 11 people watching right now. We're gonna be trading in hopefully another minute here. We've got liquidity marked up here at the bottom, but we hit that kind of before pre-market, not necessarily the end of the world. We could have a potential shift in structure here. I'm going to wait personally for liquidity to get taken after 9:30. I'm going to be a little patient. I'm going to wait for the open to happen and to run to a point of liquidity, even though we are technically interacting right in here. We're just going to be patient. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad price. And this is what I was talking about just a second ago, the downside versus the upside. I'm risking now about $500. And here's the thing. We could be like, this is technically a $500 account. I have potential to make $9,000 now. I think is what like the payout cap might be on the first payout or whatever. If we put $500 into a cash account right now, there's no way that in the next few weeks that's going to be up to 9K. Unless we're trading like futures on NinjaTrader and we just full port every single position we get into. It's just not going to happen. So with that being said, the risk to reward, prop firms are hard. Prop challenges are hard. Getting payouts are hard. I've done it. It's hard. I like trading cash. But at the end of the day, unless we can match our cash amount to the prop account size, we really don't have that much potential in getting the return that we can on a prop account. Like, there's really not many other ways you can trade and you could put in $500 and have potential to get 9,000, in a month, even 2 months. It's just not easy to do that with a cash account, or even possible sometimes with a forex broker. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna personally just try to basically risk as little as possible so I can stay streaming and consistent as much as possible. We lost $100 a day for I think like the last 4 streams, so it wasn't like it didn't hurt really, but it was like, okay, I need to just like, there's really not even a lot of potential for me to earn right now unless I start depositing a lot more money. So I was like, let me just hop over to a prop account. Now at 9:30 is about to happen, guys. We did just before 9:30 take this low. In taking this low, we're probably getting close to making a market structure shift. This would actually be a good place for price to run up. We'll see if we get it before 9:30 or right at 9:30. But I don't think the currency market has, we just got it right now actually. The currency, we could get long right now. I'm not going to. I'm going to wait until after 9:30. We might have to hang out a little bit longer for price to run to another point of liquidity. I'm going to wait until after. I don't think the currency market really goes crazy at 9:30 like futures does. If we look at yesterday, for example, yeah, I mean, this is a good example actually because it made that low right there before pressing higher. And then I can guarantee there was probably some type of market structure shift when we swept that low after 9:30. Yeah, there was right in here. And this trade probably played out 10 pips. Stop, 10 pip take profit. I mean, it's pulling back a little. I can almost guarantee it probably played out because of that take after 9:30 like that. Yeah, it did. So that's kind of like the rundown of what we're trying to do. We want like a little bit of a sweep right after 9:30 and then a market structure shift after 9:30 as well. And then hopefully to be able to target just a nice clean 1-to-1 and get 1% up on the account. So that's the goal, guys, just so you know. That's kind of the game plan. Yeah, we're on a 5-day winning streak just because of the way we're redefining winning. This is, I think, what's going to keep me consistent for a very long time coming up, and it helped me in the past significantly to stop breaking my rules and to develop consistency. But the way that we define winning is not making money or losing money. If you look at any winning strategy, losing money is part of that strategy, because if you have an 80% win rate, you have to lose 20 times for that sample to play out. So a winning streak, and the way we're going to start to define it is we're going to start to define it by, did we come and say what we said we were going to do? Did we hop on the live stream? Did we place one trade? Did we wait for our setup within our trading hours? Does it have all the confluences? If we do that every day, the profits and the losses will sort themselves out long term. We'll get more payouts than we end up spending on prop accounts, or we'll get more in our cash account than we end up losing. But we have to make it, we have to define winning by something we can control. If we say winning means making money, we can't control making money, but we can control executing. So yeah, that's the 5 day winning streak we're on, and part of that being just showing up on these live streams. That's a big thing for me right now. So yeah, we have not established the slow, just so you know. We have not established it. We have started to push lower. If this candle does indeed close higher in the next like 13 minutes or so, this will be an established low. Liquidity sitting over here. We can mark up this, so if price does drive deeper, I'll look for a reversal off of that. That is a wick low right over there. And then the next one, or the only other one of any relevance, was yesterday around 145. That low right there. Now, unless we either sweep, let me put the marker on, unless we either sweep right now here or one of these and head for a reversal, I'm not really interested in being in the market. So we're going to hang out, we're going to chat. But if this candle forms a low here, then we'll have another area to bounce off of. My guess is we're probably going to see some price action play out and just like hang out for a little bit. And then the market will decide to get legs and do what it needs to do. Yeah, CPI was this morning. That was the scandal. It just kind of didn't decide to do any one thing or another. If it did take any liquidity, we can see clear as day it took buy side. So potentials to go shorter are definitely there. They are definitely there. So yeah, tell me about your guys' trading day now. We're gonna sit here, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna wait. We can even have it up on here right now. But yeah, are you guys done for the day? Because we're getting on a little bit later. Are you guys just now starting to trade? Are you guys in NQ? What is this? Just started now, same as every day. That's what's up. Yeah, you could see actually on the future side, it looks like it took a lot more buy side than it did on on the currency side. It's a good thing we didn't get in that trade right there a little bit early. You can see it did actually make a market structure shift right there, barely. But now price is driving lower. Now after 9:30, we have taken points of liquidity. So 9:30 market opened, it made a run for the sell side liquidity here. Yes, we already did sweep some buy side, and we could be distributing a little bit lower now, but it's nothing that can't happen for a pullback or a nice change of character. At this point now, we have ran sell side liquidity, so whether we get a pattern to reverse in here or whether we drop this much more and then we get a pattern to reverse, I'm trading 1-to-1 risk to reward. I'll catch it anywhere it decides to fully hit the floor and drop and finally reverse. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to risk 1% to make 1. And that might be a little bit heavy. Risking 1% to make 1% on instant funded too, with like the tight parameters and whatnot. Because the trailing drawdown's like 4,500, I think. But I'm pretty sure it locks in at the starting balance. I'll have to double check. Yeah, let's swap to the 1 minute. We can kind of watch it on here now. I mean, these candles are pretty accurate. Like the futures candles, like you don't have to. If you're looking at like Forex.com and then you go over and you look at IG, you're not even going to be close. But like looking at Forex.com and like the futures pricing, like Forex.com's probably, I'm pretty sure it's derived from the futures prices. So this is probably the leading chart to begin with. Like, I bet, like, we even had, like, a respectable, yeah, like, we even had the market structure shift in there at the same exact time. Like, we could probably do all of our trading even off this platform because it is technically trading view. You can't see it because it's in the bottom left corner under where I am, but it does. Let me see if I can get myself. Yeah. you guys can see in the bottom left corner right here, it's literally TradingView itself anyway, but it's the futures pricing. You're long USD JPY. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, if Euro's dropping right now, you're probably getting a nice run up. Hey, Bella's watching NQ. Man, we turned on NQ for about 2 minutes yesterday and turned it right back off. You guys can even see I took it off my watch list. We'll be back with NQ and ES soon. We're not gonna replace what we're doing. We're gonna stick. I'm really like bullish on sticking with EU and trading this way. But I'm not against getting back into maybe doing a separate account for ES and NQ and stuff like that. Now we'll chart on here just because it's the same thing essentially. I do want this though on. So yeah, we are still going to be bearish until we close back above here. Now, that's not ideal, right? Because we would rather see something such as this. This would be a lot cleaner of a move because you really don't want it to happen like that late. Like it happening way up here, it's just a lot more risky. But if it happens quick and you could get in as early as possible, you really got a big opportunity to just ride it most of the move. It's an instant funded. So to answer your question, it's a simulated funded account, but you skip the challenge, and then eventually you do I think they move you to live at some point or another if you get so many payouts, but that's like way down that road, and that's where hopefully we'll go eventually one day. But my only concern is I might be going too heavy with risking 1% to make 1%, since it's not. And you guys, let me know your thoughts. Since it's not you don't have to do a challenge. You're technically instant funded. It's like technically already passed. Should I only risk 0.5%? Now there is a consistency rule and a minimum trading days. That's like something you want to make sure. Like that's kind of the challenge, right? It's not that there's no challenge. It's just that it looks different. It's the challenge within the past account already in order to get to the payout. But with that being said, I mean, it seems like a still a much faster path to a payout than it would be if you had to like take a challenge. But I don't know. I don't know if I should be risking 1% or 0.5%. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm leaning towards 1%, just because I'm always leaning towards heavier size. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong. The rules for payouts, I have to look more in detail. I know, like, the main thing is consistency, which when I trade 1-to-1, I don't have a problem with consistency, so that rule's never affected me. The other thing, though, is just minimum trading days. You need, like, 10. I think you could get it a little bit quicker, but I didn't. Like, I think there's an add-on or something. I didn't get the add-on because it's, like, like, when you trade 1-to-1, you probably need 10 trading days anyway, at least, if not more. So that's kind of why I didn't get any add-ons or anything. I just got the account right where it's at. 97, so price is still pressing lower. It doesn't look like it's pressing lower, but you guys work out yesterday? It's 10 trading days. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's a minimum 10 trading days, and you have to hit consistency. What was I gonna say though? Oh yeah, so I hit arms yesterday, and I did not feel like hitting arms at all or anything. And I took a little bit of a break this weekend. Like I went on a run, went to the skate park, went to the skate park like twice this weekend, and it was a great time. But I don't know why, I was just so tired. I would risk as a percent of your account drawdown instead of the account size. Okay, so here's the thing. That's a good point, and that's I might need to lower to 0.5% then, because in terms of account drawdown, that would put us at only having 3 trades to lose in a row. And maybe we just need a little bit more breathing room at like 6 trades before we start upping the size. But at the same time too, here's the thing. You could, any given trading strategy, and I've been thinking about this, so maybe you guys got to let me know, but any given trading strategy, it's going to have a losing streak, a winning streak, a losing streak, winning streak, maybe, a set where it's got some wins, some losses. But if you trade an account, all right, boom, you lose the account because you happen to get it in a losing streak. All right, you lost $500. Now you get your next account, you get in another losing streak. Boom, you lose another $500. You get your third account, you get in a losing streak. You lose another $500. So you're down $1,500 right now. You get your fourth account, you happen to hit it in a winning streak. Boom, you're up $9,000. That's how prop firms are a much better return on investment, in my opinion. Because when you catch a losing streak on a cash account, that winning streak doesn't necessarily bring it out like that. You know what I mean? Like that winning streak's not necessarily gonna take back all your losses and some for 3 losing streaks in a row. So that's, but yeah, I think maybe we'll go to 0.5% for right now. If we feel more confident later on, we'll up it. We're in a little bit of a losing streak right now, so I'm glad you said that. It's probably better to have like a 6-trade breathing room, so we're gonna keep it there. You think 3 is fine? Yeah, it's $200 a trade, so I'm cool with either way. And the only reason I'm cool is because if you burn through the account, it's like you're eventually gonna hit one. But yeah, I don't know. It's like we can lower it to 0.5% and be safer, but it's also more riskier on the reward side, right? It's safer on the risk side, but riskier on the reward side, because on the reward side, you could catch a winning streak, but then you could be too light on that winning streak to the point where you don't get the payout. You know what I mean? Because you didn't run it up enough, and you could catch 6 wins in a row where that could have been your payout, and then, But I don't know. We'll stick with 0.5% though, because that's kind of in line with what we were doing. So if the account costs just shy of $600 and we're risking 3, that's $200 a trade. We'll just risk $100 a trade right now, and do 0.5%. I don't know. I thought about this last night a lot, and I did settle on 1%. So I'm a little bit second guessing, and if you're ever second guessing yourself, you should probably just go lighter. We're just getting back into streaming and stuff, so yeah, I'll just stay at 0.5%, and then we'll see how it goes for a few weeks. If we're doing really well, we might just up it. I don't have a problem just upping it to 1% at some point. I'll have to do the math on the consistency though, of course, to see if it makes sense. Unless you guys say 1% though, you guys tell me. That's what I'm saying. And I wasn't gonna bring it up because I didn't know if it was right psychologically to even say. But the reason I kind of settled on 1% was because I'm we've been on a little bit of a losing streak. The probabilities are definitely increasing in our favor. They're definitely increasing. So we'll go to 1%. We'll stick with what I had thought last night. I'm second guessing myself, but this is why I need you guys. You guys reassure me. Plus we just did the math too. We were it's super simple. You lose 3 in a row, but then you win one. You could lose 8 prop challenges in a row. If you just win 1 out of 10, if you just get one payout out of every 10 challenges you buy, that's profitable prop trading. It's the truth. Now, you don't want to burn through them so fast to the point where you don't even have a chance of winning 1 out of 10. But like, we want to go through it at like right in the middle, right? Here's like too fast, crash out, like you're just trying to trade recklessly. Here's too slow, you're just being scared. Like, we want to be like right in the middle, risk 1%, make 1%, like give ourselves some breathing room. Yeah, you want to be right in the middle. You can't be too heavy on either side. Everyone's saying 0.5% now. You guys can't change your mind on me. We're already. You lost 20 trades in a row. Yeah, I get that. I get that. All right, what's the consensus? What do we do? Everyone's saying 0.5% now. The odds are stacking for sure. Jake, they're definitely stacking. Yeah, you need at least 6 out of 10 wins, which is it's doable. Like, really, with our model, we could win 8 out of 10. We could win 8 out of 10, but you're still gonna have. You might win 8 out of 10. You might win 7 out of 10. The next set, you might win 6 out of 10. The next set, you might win 9 out of 10. Then you might have a set where you win 2 out of 10. So it's like that's how it can come. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Well, I'm not trying to be a crash out, and the consensus is leaning lower. This is 6 trades of breathing room. We haven't even gone on a 6 trade losing streak in a long time, so we'll just settle here. We'll build up a buffer, like you said. What we could probably do is we could probably try to get that trailing drawdown locked in. I'll have to double check. I'm like 99% sure it locks in at the starting balance. We'll get it locked in, and then we'll try to maybe increase our size after we cover our risk and go slow at first. If you guys are ever like one of those people that just reach out to people all day trying to scam them through like these voicemails and text messages, I feel so sorry. These guys just reach out all day long with like the most obvious scams. Okay. I don't think price closed lower. We'll double check it on our Forex chart because this one, just so you know, yeah, it did not. I will probably abide by the Forex chart. Yeah, it'll build confidence for sure. That's probably the main thing we need right now. But I do feel super confident. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though we caught a little bit of a losing streak, I feel confident because I know what this strategy can do, and I also feel confident just like being back with everyone and streaming and just being disciplined and not breaking rules and like really not crashing out. But ideally right now, just so you know, guys, what we are looking for. Do they have the thing here? They don't. They need to get it. We're looking for price to close below this level, right in here, and then hopefully get a market structure shift upwards. So we need like it to close down here, close a little bit higher, and then probably run up higher. We have definitely pushed at New York Open though for that sell side. I mean, if we go back to the 15-minute, it's probably pretty clear where we're at. Not only have we swept sell side, we've also swept previous day lows. And yeah, we're swinging low. That's all. We're swinging pretty low. Eventually, it's gonna have to hit the floor and come back up. We're gonna wait until that exact moment, but hopefully it's before 11 o'clock. That's one thing too. I'm probably not gonna trade past 11 o'clock, just so you know. Like, that's probably gonna be my cutoff. Not probably, it is. we're going to stream from 9:30 to 11, and then we'll be done. Hopefully we get in our trade before then. If there's no setup before then, in the first hour and a half of market open, with price having the opportunity to run to liquidity and to reverse and give a market structure shift, if we don't see that, I'm not really like convinced that I want to be in a trade after that point, because it's just like it's not setting up, when we want it to set up at that prime time. Nasha, I'm extremely rich spiritually in the Lord Jesus. Physically and materially, I believe he's given me ability to produce wealth, and I believe that I've learned a lot over the last 4 years, and I believe I'm going to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. That's a scripture that I hold on to. But I'm really starting to measure, and I'm really young, so it might be like kind of weird that I'm even saying this. Like at this point in life, I'm really starting to try to take care of that more than anything else. And granted, I don't do the best, but I try. All right, we have not closed lower yet. We have taken price lower. Once we do close lower, which would be ideal, instead of just this, we could get a market structure shift right above here. Yeah, you do have a much better chance of price just taking off and being very directional with NQ and ES. And I'll say I think that might be part of the trouble I was having. Cause like you could honestly, like, you could be a breakout trader on NQ and ES. Like if you try to be a breakout trader on Forex, it's really not the most effective. Because it's a lot of just grabbing highs or lows and reversing, grabbing highs or lows and reversing. Um, I love NQ and ES. I traded them the majority of this year so far. I'm just taking a break from them. They it's like it's you need I think you need to have on and off seasons. And mainly maybe just because I was trading such like small time frames. Like you literally have one candle that'll move, like a 1 minute candle that'll move like 200 ticks. That's insane. Like that's absolutely insane. Like the equivalent could be like 200 pips in Forex, you know what I mean? If you're sized right. So I just needed a break from that. Something more like just that I can build discipline around again. And NQ and ES, here's why. I'll tell you why I felt like I was lacking discipline and control with it. Is because for me, I might get in a trade, right? We might get in a trade on NQ. And we might get in, like a long right here for 10 pips. Well, or let's just leave it right here at like what it's at. You might get in this trade and 30 seconds later, you either lost it or you won it. Like that's how quick the trades can be. And it got to a point where it's just like I would wait for a setup and I would be so patient, and it's like boom, you get in and it's gone. The money's gone. Or you get in and boom, the money's in your account. It was just so quick that like I just felt like I needed something a little bit slower to process it, and to allow it to play out some. So we've got now, just so you guys know, an official close below this low. This low is the low that took this low right here. And so this is a valid swing low. And with this being a valid swing low, we can see that our market structure now internally is probably best suited to be right here. So the soonest we probably want to enter is right here above that line, because you can see this high right here did not create a new low, right? It did not break through there. We broke through these points though with this push that started right here. Now I guess this high was the push to create a low, but yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah, because this candle pushed lower here. This is the stuff that they don't teach you about market structure. This is the discretionary piece, right? Structurally speaking, this high right here did push lower than these 2 points. It did not push lower than this point though. This point also though isn't necessarily what we're too concerned about because it did not create any type of low itself. So, all that being said, this is the main low we wanted broken. What was the most recent high of the push that broke it right here? So what am I going to do? I'm going to decide that this is where I want to buy above. And that's like how you have to like think through it and process through it in order for it to in order for you to find exactly the trade you need, because market structure is not clear always. Market structure is not clear always. Let's do this. This low got broke right there. Yeah, I probably need to just be right here with it. Oh, we might be getting long soon. No. That's why we gotta stay on this forex chart. Let's see. We created this low here. Pushed higher. We're still technically pushing higher. We did not close lower. So we're still looking for longs right above here. That is where we live right now. Let me get this. We've been waiting for these longs all morning. We'll see if we get them. We'll definitely see if we get them. We'll have a better entry if we this is our entry right here. I don't know why I'm having trouble drawing all this stuff on. Let me take this marker off. That's probably why. There we go. Yeah, this is this is gonna be, unless we close lower than here. Yeah, unless we close lower than there, we're gonna be looking to take this high. Which I think it'll happen. I don't even think 10 pips is like a massive move today. Just probably retargeting just shy of those highs, that sell side that it took in the first place. We're going to see if we can't break the streak today. Not the win streak. I forget who it was, but I asked you guys like day 2 of me coming back to the streams if you like the new thumbnail, and someone said it looks like look, it looks like I'm about to sell a course. That was the funniest thing. I've been thinking about that still. Like, I was laughing so hard. Because it does. The thumbnail does look like I'm about to sell a course. It was, yeah, it was you. That was funny. Yeah, that's thanks to ChatGPT. Spot on. I told ChatGPT to do tons of research, tell me exactly what makes like a good thumbnail, and then I gave it a picture of me. I told it I'm gonna be live streaming again, and just to make a thumbnail for me, based on like the research of what makes a thumbnail good, and that's what it gave me back. So I was like, all right. I don't think there's not. No, I don't need to check again. I already did. I already know there's no news right now. It does look like it though. I'll check. I'll check again. Yeah, no, there's not. Price is just moving. It's 10 o'clock. 16.2. It could. We're almost there right now, actually. Take that off. We're sweeping lower again. So this will be like, I guess, our next point of potentially being long above. This is good. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see it drag its feet on before it gets long. You can see all of this in here. There's a lot of potential for people to buy this back up, and they're all getting swept out right now. So this is adding more and more to probably us being able to have a good trade. Where is that? It's is that quarter level right there? That might be where we're headed. Right there. We'll see though. Yeah, price is still just dropping. The 5-second chart. That was my problem too with NQ. I started putting on the 5-second chart. That's when you start going down to like a rabbit hole that you can't get out of. Because then the 1 minute becomes too slow. So I was like, let me just get off NQ and take a break. Because you could have a 20 tick move in 15 seconds. You start seeing market structure shifts on the 5-second chart and grabbing 1 minute liquidity. It's like, who in the world's grabbing 1 minute liquidity? But it's there. Even though I know like I can go off of these candles, like you guys can tell, I keep swapping back and forth. Still a little hesitant for some reason. I feel like they're a little bit off, but I don't think they're going to close off, if that makes sense. Like I don't think they're going to close. Like what I'm saying is I don't think like one chart's going to give a market structure shift and the other's not. But that's also a chance I don't really want to take necessarily. Let me do this. I feel like it's in the way of the 10 up there. No, I just don't want that thing in the top left to get blocked where I can see how many people are watching. I feel like I'm messing all this up. Oh well. Yeah, we are messing that up a little bit. It's all good. So what are you guys hitting today though? Are we hitting legs today? It might be leg day for me, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. It's been a while. I don't think I hit legs since last Friday? Thursday or Friday? Yeah, we got a wide range again. We don't really have anything going on. This is EU since market open, since this gray line though. We took all that sell side, channeled downwards, made another move down. I mean, this does look just like a clean distributive move though off of grabbing all that buy side up there. So we're just kind of waiting for it to finish. Nasha, yes. You're lifting. You're lifting those chips to your mouth. I'm just playing. Hey, I don't blame you. I still I still kind of eat whatever I want, and that's probably something I need to not do. But I really believe if you just don't eat breakfast and you work out a lot, you're gonna be good. You don't really need to. Like our problem is we eat like everyone just eats all day long, so I don't really watch what I eat all the time, but I try to sometimes. Like I really don't, honestly though. But what I will do is I'll skip breakfast and I'll let me swap back. We don't. The last thing we want to do is miss our trade our first day on this account. We're gonna buy right above here for 10 pips. Six contracts. I did the math already. That'll put us at 0.5%, $750 trade. But yeah, so if we just skip breakfast and we work out 5 days a week, like I don't think food's much of a problem anymore. At the same time too, I was talking to my friend the other day, and I was saying like when you work out though too, at the same time, you're not gonna want to eat certain things. Like in if it's been like 7 hours since I worked out, that's not the case. Like I'll eat whatever. But if it's like 30 minutes after a workout, like you just aren't gonna eat certain things. Like you just don't want certain things in your body. So like what I try to do is I try to work out fasted, like in the middle of the day. You guys know I work from home on computers, so I'll basically just in the middle of the day, I'll take a quick 30-minute break and I'll work out, and then afterwards I'll eat like something light, protein shake or whatever, and then at night I try to just eat everything I can. That's just kind of how I've done it. If as long as like I'm not stuffed already, but oh, you probably got different chips than we do. The chips in America they'll kill you. Gamer Cat's got arms today. That's what's up. I did the most forced arms workout yesterday, Gamer Cat. Like I was not feeling it, and I literally just I was like I had to drop my weight. I was like I was trying to curl 30s, and like when I say trying to curl them, I mean like trying to curl like a few hundred reps of them. Like I always try to go for more reps than weight usually. I had to drop down to the 20s to rep it out like that yesterday, and I was like, I just wanted to cry. I was like, dang, I'm so tired. I don't know what it was. I'm feeling better today though. I'm feeling better today, so we'll whenever you're feeling better, whenever you're having a good day, just get legs out of the way. If you just hit legs on your good days, you'll be good. Oh, what's that, Jake? What's a sandbag workout? Is that like a CrossFit thing? Yeah, you do got to eat a lot. That's my biggest problem with trying to get big is like I don't like eating a lot. I do not like eating a lot at all. It's 10:09 right now. We got about 50 minutes for any opportunity to present itself for there to be any trade today. I think we will see the setup come, but I don't know. Yeah, we're just hanging out at this point. Luboslav, are you in your trade yet? Did you end up taking a macro trade here a minute ago? What was there a macro setup even on NQ? Did you hit? Oh wait, I don't even know if it's over. Oh, the 9:30 candle. Oh dang, it probably just tagged you out, huh? Yeah, you probably just got tagged out. And it probably went straight to it after. Dang. Yeah, that 9:30 candle's like sitting waiting for a red folder news event every day. That was one thing that started to get to me too. Maybe I was like, the pre-market macro worked so well for a while though. I don't even remember it being like that crazy and wicking you out all the time, but I started getting wicked out a lot too. Here's the thing, and let's make sure we don't miss our trade. So let me do, yeah, no, I'll just leave it like this. We'll go quick. Here's the thing too. So if we're in a macro range, I'll tell you the most high probability entry model off of it. Let me make sure we're not about to enter here. I'll let this candle run out so we have 60 seconds again. Might be breaking lower again. All right, 2-1. All right, we're on a new candle. We got 60 seconds. All right, if this is our macro range right here, and you break out of this high right here, the best entry model, or probably most accurate, but it gives the worst risk to reward ratio, is going to be when price comes back below that breakout candle. It is 100% going to be the most accurate. The problem is though, you might get like a trade like this, like let's just say you stop has to be up here, and then like let's say the middle of the range is right there. You're gonna have like severely negative risk to reward, but it's super accurate. So you almost have to like target the other side of the range or trail your stop or something like that. There's a lot of different moving pieces to the macros that like if we could pin down, if I could have something that I feel more confident in again, then I'll probably add another like trade every day alongside Euro US dollar, but like with NQ. But you put the stop loss on the candle that broke. Oh, so are you trading outside of the range then? Are you in a buy? So did you catch the breakout of it or? But I put a stop loss on the candle that broke. Or are you saying you put the stop loss behind the candle that comes back below here? So like if we close back below, you put your stop like right here? Or are you trading the breakout? Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's probably a lot better then. Yeah, because having those wide, you're gonna lose more, but having those wide stops sometimes it hurts a lot more when you lose. So it's probably just better to just take those small losses on the chin. I go straight to TP. That's what's up. What's your TP? Are you taking full TP at 50% or the other side of the range? Sometimes. Okay. Let's do this. This is the range we're in, just so you guys know. We are in this range. I don't want the midline. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. We'll do this too. Okay, that makes sense. No trade yet, but we're getting close. If we peek out the upside of this range right here, which it looks like we're probably going to make our way to do that, we'll get long. If not, we're going to be looking for something like a breakdown lower and then like a potential reversal here. It's bound to happen though, because they've been dragging their feet on getting all these buyers out of the market before it goes up. So, like they've been doing it literally since the market opened. We took sell side immediately, and we haven't made any real move higher yet. I mean, we're in such a wide range right now, we don't even really need to watch it on the other trading view chart. We can keep it on here because we already know this is the accurate range. But yeah, just so you guys know too, we're gonna try to stick. We're gonna try to stick with that 9:30 stream time. It'll be better because since we're trading currency futures, it's just better to stay in line with the market open anyway. Um, and it just helps me get a lot done in the mornings. Yeah, that's one thing you don't really ever have to worry about sometimes with NQ and ES is that waiting game. 11. I'll wait until 11. If we don't have any setup by 11, I'm going to close the charts out and we're not going to take a trade today. It'll still be a winning day because we executed by not executing. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. But I think we'll get a setup before then. It's Tuesday. We swung previous day Monday's lows. We're making the low today, I think, for the week potentially. And I think since we're doing that, it's taking a little bit of time before it decides it wants to start moving up. But yeah, I'll turn off at 11. I think we're going to have a solid setup though here soon. That's not right. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's not right. Okay. Do that later. So are you waiting for, are you in the, let's go back to trading view. So is that what are you waiting for that close below here then? For this breakout candle right now? Or are you in this trade? I don't think that's right though, is it? Yeah, it is. Oh, so here's the thing, Luboslav. This is what I used to do back in the Telegram when I first started trading it, by the way. And I don't know if you want it, like, don't just do this today without looking at it. But one thing I was doing too, and this actually helps a lot, but at the same time it's still like negative risk to reward. So like this is a terrible example, but it's still an example nonetheless. You can see if you draw out the extended standard deviations of the range, so you've got right here just your macro range, 50% in the middle, and then you've got 50% outside of it. Now if price closes through 50% outside of it, basically like what I would do is I would take that candle now that broke out of there, and then I would look for price to come back basically right to the top of the range. So you trade it like level to level, right? Like that. So but here's the thing, you take a short off of this candle now, there you have no risk to reward. So here's the thing, that's where the 5-second comes in. That's where the 5-second comes in, because now look at, boom, you close right below there on the 5-second, and now you get that full push, right? So I don't, you just gotta throw on the 5-second sometimes. I'm just playing around, but you can see though that's like a perfect example, right? That 1 minute candle breaks through that 50% range, or that 50% extended standard deviation. And then I need to stop making these orange because I don't think anyone like really knows what that means if they're like new to this or whatever. I just changed my color so much. But it's like now you have that break below candle, and then it's like, I wonder if you honestly, you know what, we might be onto something. We just got to start entering on the 5-second for the macro ranges, right? Because price on the 1 minute closed below here, but and it might close like way down here, and you might only get that much room. But if you close below there on the 5-second, you might get a straight run. I don't know. We'll go to Euro though. All right, Euro has broken even lower, guys. We are finally below this range. This was a consolidation, and now with that being a manipulation of the consolidation lower, we actually do have a beautiful entry for longs right above there, if we can indeed get it. You still target the middle of the range though? Okay, yeah, so that, I mean, that's, you enter on the 5-second now, that's a 4R. But if you enter on the 1 minute, I mean, you're still getting positive R, yeah. The problem with it hitting equilibrium though sometimes, and this is just from my testing, is if it hits, you know, a full standard deviation higher like that, or a half standard deviation higher, it might be less likely to return to the middle at least, but I don't know. No. All right. Yeah, it sure does random things sometimes. But at the same time, and I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, even though it does random things sometimes, there's sometimes where it's so precise, like so precise that you start to wonder if anything in the markets is actually random anymore. And then of course it goes back and it does the random thing again. So I get that for sure. Let's see if you're that 1 to 4 5-second trade today. Even push that other side of the range, 1 to 6. No, that's not what we're looking at today though. Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, even on the news. All right, we could have a really simple market structure shift in here if we do close lower, because this is a formed low. If we can close lower than that, we pushed higher right here. I would really like to just close lower than here and then close up higher right here. That would be just a beautiful picture to see right now after watching all of this chop down lower all day. But you can see though how market structure is so important, because we haven't had any shift in structure. So like, at least on Euro US dollar right here, like there's really no real reason to buy yet in any of this. All right, we did close lower, pushed higher here. Now we're going lower. I'll just kind of mark it up so you guys can see. If we close above this candle high now, we're going to be looking to get long. So hopefully we're going to trade here soon. Same exact thing on this chart, it looks like. Just, it's actually in line with that low right there, but we'll do this. Yeah, it didn't close lower though on this one. You see that? It closed lower here, but not lower on the futures chart. Old news now, but he posted 22 minutes ago. So that's what happened at 10. That's what this right here, this little drop was. Yeah, I think I like the Forex chart more, which is probably not right. I feel like futures chart pricing is going to be more accurate. We did finally close below now, but we didn't before. Who knows? What if some of our failed Forex trades in the past have been because the futures pricing didn't close in certain places? What if that's the case? I don't know. I do not know. Created a new low down here now. We can kind of get rid of that. This is the range we're in. See, and it didn't even create the new low there yet. Now it's starting to look a little different. Oh, look, I wonder, okay, let's see it. Let's see if on the 5-second we close lower. Oh, we didn't. We didn't close. I was gonna think, I was like, maybe my 5-second theory was gonna fail here because like the 1 minute tagged it but didn't close lower. Look at that. The 5-second didn't even close lower either. I don't really have any interest in ever looking on the 5-second on like Forex pairs, but on NQ, I'm not like opposed to it. I'm looking to get into a trade for you guys. I am here soon, hopefully. All right, we tagged this low right here. We did not close lower, so this is not a valid point to get long off of yet, and we're still only considering this line. I wish we didn't do this today right here, Luboslav, where we looked at this with the 5 second chart in the entry like that, because I can almost guarantee you now I'm probably gonna end up looking at this later today. I can almost guarantee that I'm gonna end up looking at that again today. The 5 second entry off of the 1 minute breakout candle close below. Because the problem I've been having is I like that entry model so much. Okay, just so we know. That's this is discretion too, because even though the wick structure is telling you that this is the high, it's like this is really the high. We know that. So it's like, let's just mark it up here. We need to close back above here. Hey, I'll tell you one thing I'm not doing is I'm not stopping trading Forex this way. So if I do trade futures, it's going to be on a separate account. It's going to be something we do in addition. I'm fully committed to my €1 US trade a day though. But I would also consider taking a trade on like NQ or something, or ES every day. With you guys too. Just more to do on stream. Like I even enjoy, just even though we're not taking the setup, even just looking at the chart with you guys, we can see too. 5 second probably did close below there now. It made a quick run for potentially that equilibrium there. It just didn't go the full way. Do you trail your stop, Luboslav? Do you trail it? Because I bet trailing stops on it wouldn't even be terrible. Alright, still nothing, Lewis. Yeah, I know. Still nothing. We got about 20 minutes. Just over. Let's see if we can't get our setup. If not, we'll be good. We'll be back tomorrow. Or you know what I should do? I should just I burnt that paper account yesterday after we lost that trade so bad. Maybe we really do like a paper, because I don't want to put any risk on futures right now, I'll be honest. I only want to put risk on Forex right now. But I will say, if we put like a paper account together, we could trade it alongside it just on stream while we're waiting for our Forex setups. I even said this yesterday, and then we took that trade, and honestly, we should make a plan or I need to make a plan first, saying, hey, if I want to start adding a futures trade every day to the stream, this is what I need to do, and then put the trading plan in place and put a dollar amount and see how well I do over a few weeks. Then it's like, okay, let's get another prop account and trade futures on one and Forex on another. Or even lower our risk and take both trades on the same account. I'm not against that either. But I think if anything, we just paper trade NQ while we actually trade EUR/USD on this account until we get a little more dialed. Hey brother, what's up, NKO? I hope you're doing good too, man. We're back to the streams. That's the only real trading goal I have right now, is just stream, hang out with everyone, and just be consistent again. Because you guys, I trade so much better when I'm like on here. It's a little hard sometimes trading outside of the streams, and it's a little hard trading in the stream sometimes. Like, it has its pros and cons on both. At the end of the day, though, like, the accountability's here. It's not really there when I'm outside of the streams. But there is a little bit added pressure. Like, I will say, like, the last few days, like, losing those trades and stuff, like, sucked. But I just told myself I'm gonna risk like a really low dollar amount right now while I'm getting back into streaming. That way I don't feel that pressure. So I haven't really felt it too much, and that's why we're still going. But the goal is to my goal right now. Like, I literally wrote it down, is to just stream every day the rest of this year. Whatever happens with trading is going to happen. You guys know that we have periods where we do really well. You know that we have periods where we're down. I'm pretty sure that's just the nature of trading. I'm trying to figure out how to do well all the time. I haven't figured that out yet, but yeah, my goal is to simply just trade the rest of this year on the streams. It happened to Luboslav too. He's in here right now. He got wicked out on that pre-market NQ macro too, and we looked at it. We looked at it. Yeah, we looked at it right here. That wick right there. Yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about. And it ran straight. It ran straight to profits right after that. Yeah, that's 100% right. Oh, it was a beautiful setup. It was a beautiful setup. Yeah, that 9:30 candle is part of the reason I'm trading Forex right now. No, it's not. The main thing is I wanted to get back into streaming, and then I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I have to do it with something I know I can trade without breaking my rules. And even though we caught a string of losses, like I already know this strategy is like effective and it works and it makes sense to me. So I don't feel like the need to change it. So I was just really in my head, I was like, what can I do most consistently when I get back into this? You know what might be beneficial though too, so we don't cross our lines too much, because you really can't trade Forex in the evening, but you can trade NQ for the last hour of the day. It might be beneficial to do Forex in the mornings, or Euro US dollar currencies in the mornings, and then NQ in the evening. Just that last hour of the day macro. All right. We're getting close to having a trade. We're not there yet, but we're getting close to having a trade. It could be there, but I'm going to wait until right here for that extra confirmation, because you guys can see, even though this is the wick structural point, we did wick through it, creating technically a different high. So I'm going to wait for that high to be broken. It's a little more conservative, a little less aggressive, but I think it will confirm the actual switch in direction, as opposed to this. This is just, even though we drew on our structure right, like price started dumping after this high right here, within the dump we did get a wick, right? So even though we started dumping, we wicked and then kept dumping. Yeah, I think this would be the safest bet. I'm going to have it ready for a long. I don't think we're going to get it quite on this candle, but potentially on the subsequent. We'll just delete all the stuff we don't need on this chart. We're going to be risking $750 to make $750. And this is going to be our setup for the day if we can get price to close a little bit higher. Let's see if we even touched. Yeah, we touched it here. We'll wait for it to close on the futures chart. I think at the end of the day, even though I like the Forex chart more, I think futures pricing will always probably trump any other pricing. So I might be wrong though. I might be completely wrong. If someone actually knows better on that, just let me know, because that might not even be close to accurate. You know what we haven't done though is we haven't looked at this 15-minute chart to see if there's any different structural points forming, which I didn't think there was. There's not. We've just been sliding lower. Every single candle wick is getting lower and lower and lower, so there's not any new structural points per se. Yeah, we didn't even close above this point right here, but we did create a fair value gap, so this could be the beginning of a good market structure shift. We had an internal break right here. That's a false break. That's a false break because it's not a market structure shift. Yeah, MKO, look what we just did, MK. We got this figured out too, actually, where you can have an entry, like, whereas, like, okay, realistically, if we were going to take this trade, we would be targeting right there. Here's the thing. Luboslav just put me on game about this on accident. Ideally, you want to enter below there, right? That 1 minute candle, though, closes right there. That's a terrible risk to reward. What do we do? Let me make sure we're not about to get into a trade. What do we do, though? We drop to the 5 second. That 5 second gave a much better entry and gave a positive risk to reward. I think I'm going to look at it like this evening when I'm not, like, when I'm done with work and I'm not busy. There's potential to use the 5 second time frame with that macro range theory to get the right entry off of the Model 1, technically, the breakout candle flip. The problem is, though, you wait for that breakout candle to close, and then you wait for a 1 minute candle to close lower, and that 1 minute candle usually is the entire move, if not 80% of the move, and then you at least to equilibrium, and then you only got 20% left, and it's like, that kind of sucks, you know what I mean? So that 5 second chart, it might be aggressive, but it might give the best risk to reward. So the aggressive payoff might be worth it. We'll see. I'll look into it, though. I'll look into it. It might be something I just paper trade behind the scenes right now. And then if I think it's worth it, like in the evening at like the last hour of the day, let's consider doing like a evening stream or something. I don't know. This market does not want to shift. We got 16 minutes left. If we don't have an entry by the time the clock hits 11, we will say good day. We will be disciplined and we will turn the charts off, and we'll all go and get our responsibilities done. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because what we were talking about was basically, right, you got like a macro range right here, right? And then you got a high of the macro range. And then you got, like, let's say, that breakout candle. Now, let's do this. Macro range, we'll make this a breakout candle. Now, ideally, when you break out of a macro range, you want, like, the best entry model is going to be when price closes back below this candle right here, the candle that broke out. Now, here's the problem. You can see right here, if you were to, like, let's say we get another 1 minute candle now that, you know, closes like right below here. We'll just drag it over one. Now we probably should have just kept it. And let's do this. Let's bring it a little bit lower for both of these. Let's make this like green. All right. So, and we'll make this red. So here's the thing. You have this green candle that breaks out of this macro range, right? Now, you want to be targeting 50% of the macro range. Now, if you want price to basically close below this green line, we'll even make it a little bit tighter, right? You want price to close below this green candle that broke out of that macro range. Well, here's the problem. Price breaks out of the macro range. This candle forms this low right here, and you basically are looking for an entry below it. Now, the next 1 minute candle comes and you miss out this much of the move, but you have the best entry possible. But now here's the thing. You got a risk to reward trade where it's like your take profit might be right here at 50%, or you can go lower. 50% is the best bet though. But that 1 minute candle closed so low, it took up most of your move. But you were right. You knew that once price traded below here, you had a high probability of going here, and like let's say the very next candle does that. Here's the thing that we might have just accidentally stumbled upon. If you have a 5-second candle, if you swap now to the 5-second time frame instead of the 1 minute for an entry, you might have like a much smaller 5-second candle in here that ends up closing like right there. Now it's like now you could have a much higher risk to reward or whatever. I mean, it's going to be at least much closer to positive. So I don't know. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to mess around with it, but we're not changing what we're doing. That's something I want to be clear about. I'm 100% bent on sticking with the currency strategy I'm going to trade on the streams. If anything, we're just going to add and we're going to diversify. We're going to trade a futures account and a forex account. And I think that'll be great too, because if one's doing bad and the other's doing good, it's like, okay, we're doing fine. If one's doing, I was reading Ecclesiastes last night, and it said you should even diversify between 7 things, because you don't know which one's going to do good or bad or whatever, And there was another verse in there that talked about, put your hand to work, put your hand to work in the morning, but also put your hand to work in the evening, because you don't know which venture is going to profit, or if both are going to profit. So that could be, that could be forex in the morning and futures in the evening. But no, I don't know. Yes, you are to blame for this. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we have multiple different entry approaches. That was one of them. That was the most accurate one. That's waiting for the most confirmation. We had other entry approaches too, where it's like you just have the macro range, and then you just wait for price to close outside of it. That's super aggressive, and it was working really well though, because I think when it does work, you get the highest risk to reward with that. There's no higher risk to reward you'll get than you taking just a breakout. Now, that when it doesn't work though, you just get chopped up a lot. You take tons of small losses, and so it's a little stressful. Granted though, when it does work, that risk to reward really swings back in your favor. You just have to be able to stay, you need to be able to stay in the game long enough to come back to those wins that are going to swing back in your favor, right? Yeah, did we? Yeah, we even hit that level you were talking about. Now we're trading back below it. I agree with you. I don't know if we're necessarily going to run up higher. Now we're trading back below that level there, but I guess that's not necessarily a quarter level. No, the quarter level would be 1720 or 1750 and 15. So 1625 is like a quarter of the quarter. It's still important. I don't know if we get price to just start pushing in the next 11 minutes and we get back above that high, but we're in a massive 1 minute range right now. Like if you guys can't see it, I'll draw it for you. This is the range we're in right now. We need to either get higher than this range in 11 minutes, or we need to do something like this in the next 11 minutes. And if we don't do either of those, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, so that's an entry model. The breakout candle getting flipped is an entry model. You could take literally an engulfing off of it. You can wait for a market structure shift off of it, which probably if you wait for a market structure shift after a macro gets broken out of, you're likely going to miss most of the move. There's a very high chance you miss most of the move. If you wait for something like a fair value gap, probably going to miss most of the move unless you're really on a smaller time frame, which I wouldn't necessarily trust that unless it's like there's a market structure shift, fair value gap, like all of that on the 5 second. like there's got to be probably a lot more confluence. There's so many different entry models off of it though. But the two that I really used was a very conservative one, which is the one I just showed you, the breakout candle getting closed back below, or the one that you're trading right now, I traded a lot, was just the simple breakout and just take price back to equilibrium. And that's how a lot of institutional traders trade. And what we were doing, that macro range is an institutional strategy, by the way. It's not random. It's not, I kind of came up with it on my own. Like I just stumbled across it by watching ICT. I was learning about macro ranges. People were talking about trying to trade inside of the macro range. Well, I started trying to trade right after the macro range and basing my trades on that range itself. And I started doing some research and stuff, and it's like it's genuinely a real institutional strategy that's pretty accurate. Their only thing they did different was they would take the trades like on the breakout too, but they would wait for some type of like volume confluence, which I just didn't understand. They would want volume to flip in their favor or something too. Or maybe I don't know. They would wait for it to exhaust itself. I don't know. Yeah, so I was doing that too for a while, MK. The 80% stop loss, and I think that makes sense because if you look at, let me make sure we didn't actually close lower here. I wasn't really paying attention. We did close lower. We actually have hope for a trade still. We can get long above here. Um, that's good to know. So, yeah, if you look at optimal trade entry OTE theory, basically the idea, let's go back here. Oh yeah, we might be getting long right now. Not right now, but you guys get it. Here, one second, I'll answer that. But the quick answer is yes. Yeah, I think 80% is more respected for a stop loss than 50 because OTE is 62%, 70.5%, and 79%. If anything in a range goes past 79%, it's considered not necessarily a good discount anymore. It's considered not worth buying anymore. Um, that's like that's just like stock investors and like stuff that they keep in mind. But so with a stop loss being at 80%, long story short, is that's like a real point of invalidation. It's like if you hit 80%, you're probably invalidating that idea that that range is a good range to reverse from, is what I'm saying. Man, we were close to an entry, but I'd rather not have the entry than force it, right? And if you look at both charts, we're seeing a bit of a discrepancy on the futures versus the forex chart. So like it doesn't even look like we did wick lower, but we didn't really close lower necessarily. We're gonna stick with this chart for entry right now because we are seeing that close lower, and because I know I'm profitable on this chart. I know I'm profitable on the forex.com feed, their price feed. So we got 5 minutes to get that market structure shift. We are literally 2 pips away from having a trade, but also 2 pips away from just calling it a day. So 2 pips away from a trade, 5 minutes away from calling it a day. Yeah, it's tough because you can raise that stop and win. You can win more, but if you catch a week where you just weren't gonna win anyway, you're gonna get buried. There's so many things to consider. Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, if you're catching a good week, that 80% is gonna be the most respected, especially on the breakout like that. Hey, are you in this trade, Luboslav? You might be pushing 8R right now. No, You are either you guys in that trade? No, you got took out twice today? Where was your stop? Oh, because you were telling me earlier you put your stop like with respect to that entry candle. Yeah, that's what I was doing too. I was only taking the pre-market after a certain point in time. I know you guys know who the Einstein of Wall Street is though, because he just pops up all over YouTube. He said, and I was trying to go by it for a while, but I got kind of burned out. He said he's like you should give yourself 3 trades a day. But if you lose three, you're done. Turn the computer off. If you win and you're profitable for the day, you don't even need to take all three. Just turn it off. I was doing that for a while and it worked. But then too, if you catch 2 days in a row where you lose 3 trades each day, you're like, dang, I don't want to trade 3 times anymore. Oh, we're starting to come higher. I didn't know if we were gonna even try it. I didn't even know if we were gonna try for it. Let's see. We might even be close getting. Yeah, we're just gonna lock in right here right now. We could have a trade. We want to see that candle close above somewhere. All right, this is literally the last minute. If we do not close higher on this candle, we will not be getting in the trade today. Dang, I'm kind of hungry. It's gonna happen at 11:01. Don't say that. We're gonna get in this trade right now. We'll get in it before the candle closes. It doesn't look like it's happening, guys. We'll give it 11:01 just to see if you're right. We'll hang out just to see if it does. I don't think it will. No, I'm not gonna go against what I said. That's gonna break discipline. Because if we get in it at 11:01 and it loses, I'll be so pissed. That's it though, guys. We hung out. We had a good time. I think we had a good conversation. I think if anything, we increased in discipline. So that's gonna be it for today, though. Um, yeah, I'll let you guys go. Expect to be back tomorrow at the same time. We'll be here. Hopefully, we can get our first setup in on this account. I'm not unhappy that we didn't get a trade today, but I'm not, thrilled either. Like, it is what it is. We'll be back tomorrow, though. It's better than a losing day. Technically, we broke the loss streak of losing trades because we didn't even have a trade today. But at the end of the day, another winning day by showing up and doing what we said we were going to do. So we're going to close it out in prayer. And yeah, Father, we just come to you in the name of Jesus. I just thank you for my brothers. I thank you for the good conversation that we got to have today. I thank you that you're helping us by giving us each other to be able to learn from each other, to be able to grow together, to hold each other accountable, and just to hang out and just enjoy life, to enjoy the blessing of life you gave us. Father, help us to stop taking ourselves so seriously and stop taking life so seriously, but to just enjoy this gift that you gave us. Help us to do things that only bring life, not death to our lives. Help us to develop the good habits and disciplines we need. Father, I just pray that your light shines on my brother's hearts listening to this right now. I pray that you reveal the things in them, the gifts that you gave them, that you created them with, the ability to not just enjoy life, but to be able to help other people that are around them that might not be as fortunate. So, Father, I just thank you for everything you've done for us. We just love you, we need you, and we just pray that you glorify yourself in this channel, in this community. And we just pray that our conversations constantly circle back to you, and just for you to increase and for us to decrease. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen, guys. I love you guys. We're going to be back tomorrow. Price just has been driving lower all morning. There's no point in trying to force buys on this. So we'll be back tomorrow. I will see you guys there. And yeah, love y'all.